training area is quite big. This is the first training area part. The second, you basically have everything. What is stairs? Why can't they just make an elevator? Oh man. Oh my god, oh my god. Oh! So a little voiceover here right now. So yeah, you have a tension board and a kilter board. Both of these boards are adjustable. You can adjust them yourselves, but the gym does that once in a while. I think after the weekend they will increase the boards by 10 degrees. I've seen a review saying that they want more degrees down because the boards only go to like 40 degrees, which implies that there isn't a 50-degree board here. So yeah, that's I think something that's quite important in this gym. When you are going to climb here, that both of these boards don't go like to like around 50 degrees, but only stay until like 40 degrees. I think it's really nice to have like a tension board and a kilter board. I think it's definitely like fun to have like a tension board too, because I haven't really climbed that much on that board, and you also don't really have that much gyms that have the tension board too. But I definitely think this gym has to start like also like making the boards go to like 50 degrees and lower too, so people don't always only can like climb on like the 30 or 40 degrees. I also do think that the tension board definitely like fits quite well in this kind of like setting in this gym, because it has been a lot more crimpier right now, which also I felt quite a lot in this session. Which I think definitely like, because the tension board is quite crimpy, it fits basically perfectly in the gym. But yeah, we both didn't really have that much finger skin. So yeah, we only did like a few tension board boulders. Tone couldn't really handle the tension board that well because his finger skin was quite done for like the previous day, because he participated with Kunstwerk. I definitely think that the tension board too definitely makes the gym a lot more unique. I also really like that they had a completely different board in the gym. So yeah. So here we have competition simulation area. White is the easiest, red is medium, and black is hard. Because this gym has quite some crimps, I'm gonna do the somewhat medium/easy ones. What the heck?
Oh, zo bijna hoor.
Dat was gewoon. Echt heerlijk is dat. Lekker vlammig.
Oh, dat is mijn bijna. Op.
Daarmee. Hier, je mag eens iets schoenen hebben. Oh,
Daar gaat je. Is er nu bloed al over? Oh, inderdaad, wel een beetje.
Op je knieën.
ja, ik bloed omdat de routesetting hier. Alright, so the reviews. What do we think?
So the first review is, boulderketen is net als de McDonald's. In iedere stad hetzelfde en je weet exact wat je krijgt. Heeft niet zoveel ziel / persoonlijkheid.
What do you think?
It's they're saying like it's like a McDonald's. It's you know what you get and it's not much.
Do we think he's right?
It is different. The setting is different.
Well, I think definitely, like we have been to quite some gyms from like Kunststof, and I think we both can quite much say that this gym is much more different. In like, it's harder. Like, definitely like for more advanced climbers, I think.
Might actually be because it's newer and they're experimenting more.
Yeah, it's definitely also like the tents. Some are like quite low graded, while some others are like really like quite high graded. But there's like not really like a boulder that's like rated 8A or 7C plus. Like the hardest boulder right now is like a 7C, and yeah, it's basically like really old school, but also like really hard setting, like really much crimping and stuff, and also like quite a lot of dynamic stuff, which is the second review. The second review is about the route setting, I think.
I'll just read the bottom. Oh, overall route setting is good. Definitely some different styles than other boulder halls in Amsterdam. And then the big thing, however, the grading is certainly off. Certainly off. Consistently, the grading didn't really match the boulder. This was evident watching others struggle on a 4 and then go and send a 6. I had similar experiences. It also seemed backed up by the wildly varying grading given by the users on Toplogger. Maybe this is something that will be dialed in better over time, but I understood the setters' experience, so I was surprised by the off between thingies, air quotes.
Blood has
Feeling
British
of
accent.
many boulders.
But
Yes.
yeah, what do we think about that?
Yeah, I think it's, or me personally, I think it's a bit accurate. I had 1-7 right at the beginning.
Whoa. What do you think about the review?
Yes, I think it's very good.
What the fuck is that for you? Okay. I think they are quite right with like what they say.
Yes.
I think. Like I feel like with like some boulders, like 8s, especially like 9s also, some are like really easy and also like 7A rated, while there are some 8s or 7s that are legit harder than the 9s. I had like a purple one with like the juggy crimps. That one was like a lot easier than like the 8 Lachey Dino, and like the 9 Dino 9 was definitely like a lot harder than the 2 9s that I've tried before. So yeah, I think he's kind of right with that.
Yes.
But do we give it like a minus point for that, or do we just ignore it?
I don't know.
Should we just remove
Let's just move
1.5?
Remove 0.5.
Alright. So before we're gonna begin with like the rating, my original plan was to first rate Monk Eindhoven and then rate a other gym somewhere in the Netherlands. But yeah, because I had like school today, which is normally not the case, I had to move the session to later this week. I had already like climbed a little bit in Monk Eindhoven, but because I had quite poor finger skin, I felt like I couldn't really perform like, you know, on my complete max. So yeah, I kinda just like, you know, let the session be, just like climbed what I could climb, and I wanted to come back to yeah, film the rest of the video. I still did like a 7B, so yeah, like, which is normally not really the case in Monk Eindhoven, so I was quite happy about that, um but yeah, like, kinda disappointed that I just couldn't really like, you know, film it on Monday, because that was originally the plan. But yeah, well, now you guys have this rating video, I guess. Let's rate route setting. What do I think about the route setting? Well, first of all, I think there's a lot less competition borders. The usage of holds also, I think, is just not really that good. Like, they have like a lot of new holds. Like, they have like the no text like holds from like the World Cups, you know, the pedal no text holds. And like they can set something with it, but they don't, and I think that's just really like wasteful, because like there's like a lot of new holds they can set with, but they choose to like, you know, put it on a competition wall, which had just like kind of like mid boulders, which you don't really learn anything from. Like, they can like make a really hard boulder from it, or a easier boulder, and like let people learn to climb with plastic a little bit, so they can like get better with that. But they don't really choose to do that, and just make a boulder that's just really weird. The very first time when I went to this gym, I really think the boulders on the competition wall were like a lot more cooler, and like a lot more, you know, better than they were right now. I think right now the route setting is like quite basic. Like, I think they want to morely focus on like power boulders, and just like a lot of like crimping, like Monk Amsterdam does. I think because it's located in Amsterdam, I think they just also want to maybe like, you know, try to get some people from Monk Amsterdam to climb in this gym, because of course it's located in Amsterdam. And yeah, like, I think with route setting it is quite comparable with Monk Amsterdam, but it just, you know, feels a little bit different and just really weird. I think, you know, right now they don't really have like that much cool boulders. I think right now there were like two really cool boulders, and the rest were kind of like mid, in my opinion. um, it's definitely like a really hard gym, because I struggled on nines in this gym, which is usually not the case at all in any of the gyms in the Netherlands that are like from Kunststof. Normally I do like 2, 3, or maybe even 4 tens in a session, and today I couldn't even do one, which is just like crazy if you think about it. So yeah, I think they really try to be a hardcore gym, and I definitely think I will probably go here a lot more times, because I of course still have like the Kunststof subscription. But yeah, like, a problem with the gyms, like gyms like this one from the same company that also made Kunststof, Energiehaven, Zuidhaven, like Vrijhaven is also quite a new gym from the same company, is that they just make so many gyms. And I just feel like the route setting also, it's just like, in the beginning it's really cool and all, and that's also with this gym. I felt like the route setting was really cool and all. There was like a lot of dinos, a lot of new holds, and it was, you know, a lot of people also came to this gym because it's a really new gym. It's a really big gym, and like, you know, all of the other gyms from like the same company also, you know, were basically like bragging about and saying that it's the best gym they ever built and stuff. But they have like built two gyms right now. Vrijhaven is like, I know I've been there once, but I think that's probably like one of the worst gyms that they probably have made, like that this company probably has made. And then you have like this gym, and I feel like they're kind of like trying to milk those gyms a lot, and they just try to, you know, get like as much climbing gyms as possible, like everywhere in like the Netherlands. And it's getting like so absurd that you basically already like have like the most climbing gyms from this like industry, I think, in the whole Netherlands, because like even like base doesn't even compare with like the amount of gyms that this gym has already made. I know like a year ago they already like had like 8 gyms, and I think right now they're on like 10. And it probably wouldn't even be like special if they have like 2 more gyms at the end of next year, because that's how like how much they expand in a really short time. So when I heard about this gym, I wasn't really that excited, because I knew that because of experiences in like all of the other gyms, and also like the experience with like the newer gym, the Vrijhaven, I kinda knew that this gym wouldn't probably be like super special. But I was kind of like surprised by the wood setting, and I think it's definitely a really cool gym. But I just think they are just quite like milking it too much. And even though I really like this boulder gym, and I definitely think this is much more focused on like the advanced climbers, which is just perfect for me, because I am an advanced climber and I just try to become the strongest version of myself. So I think training in this gym is perfect for me. I still think that they really have to calm down with the amount of gyms that they make, because you will probably see it when I will be rating Vrijhaven, that gym is like completely different than this gym. Um, Even though I think that's definitely like a problem with like this company, and also like the lots of gyms that they have been, well, let's say it this way, pooping out. I definitely think that the wood setting here is really really nice. So yeah, I will probably rate it 7.5. So yeah, it's now time to rate the training area. The training area, I think, in this gym is one of the best training areas I've seen. You have a lot of space, and it's basically like you have pull-up bars there, you have weights there. It's all really close by, and you don't really have to walk that much to do whatever you want, or to do weighted pull-ups. You have a belt also in like a like box really close by the pull-up bars. Well, you have different stuff you can use for your fitness, or like training, which is also really nice. Like this gym definitely has like the best training area I've probably seen like ever in like any other gym that I've been to so far. So I will probably say that the training area in this gym is a 10. Yeah, I kind of expected it. So next rating will be about conditioning. So this is where it gets a little bit lower of a score. It's a really huge space, but when it comes to ventilation, there is like none. Like there's no ventilation at all. Even though it's big, so you don't really have like a really close by like sauna, and it's more like spread it into the gym. I still feel like it's a really like bad thing about this gym, because ventilation is really important, and not having it in like a really huge building is still a really big problem, because if you're gonna sweat, you're still sweating and you can't really cool off that much. So I think having little vents throughout the gym will help a lot. But yeah, because they don't really have that, and it's just like one big gym without any ventilation, I will have to give this gym a, well, because it's still big and you have like I think 1 or 2 windows you can like open up into this in this gym, I will give the ventilation like a 3. All right, now for cleanliness, I think the halls are really clean. This is a really clean gym. Like the smell when you come into the gym is just like clean and like fresh. Like it smells like a really like brand new gym, which is really nice. I think the halls are like a little bit too clean in my opinion. I think they can use a little bit more chalk. Um, and yeah, like I think for the rest, like the holds are just really clean. I didn't slip once out of a boulder, and I think also the route setting has a lot to do with that, because I got like a few like people saying that base Den Haag Holland Sport is a really nasty gym. I can see why, because the holds there are basically like black, but because of the route setting of like the way how they set the boulders, I think that boulder gym is still quite clean, because I didn't really slip that much in that boulder gym. if I'm gonna compare it with like Rijnbolde in Arnhem, which I basically like slipped like I think 10 times out of like different boulders there. So yeah, this gym definitely like gets for its cleanliness, I think like a 10. Like it's like so clean that it probably has to like get a little bit more like, chalk on the holds. So yeah, 10 for me. So yeah, now for safety/safeness, I had a few instances where people just like climbed when I was first at the boulder. I had a few people just walking on the mats, and there weren't really any like rules that you had to like wait until the other person is on the wall. There isn't any really like safety rules in the gym, which I think is just really bad. Even though there are ages or when you can use what, which is I think quite good. I still think that this gym just doesn't really do that much with safety like any of like the other gyms from like the same company. So I will have to give the safety/safeness a 6 for this one, because I just feel like they do something with it, but they just don't really make it something that people really have to pay attention to, which is just really important with like safetyness. So it's gonna be a 6 for me. So yeah, now for the friendliness, I had like not that much people that I talk with, but the gym is quite big, and yeah, I still think that there just isn't really that much friendliness. I think that like it's just mostly just like focused on like you know being as big as possible, and like everyone is like basically like everywhere like in the gym, and just like really like it just feels like really spread it apart, while in Kunststof, for example, it's just really like a really like tiny gym where everyone is just together, so it's just easier to talk with each other and just be more social. So I think like this like a little bit of like a thing that's just like killing the friendliness, and I think I just have to rate it a 5, because I just don't think it's too really like friendly, even though I climb with my friends, and maybe it's like completely different and people just like talk when they see someone just like climbing. I just feel like it's just kind of like a really weird feeling that you're just like climbing mostly like apart from like other people. Like it just feels really spread it out, to say it this way. So from the total points, I had to remove 0.5 points. So yeah, we went from 41.5 points out of 60 to 41 points, which means that the total score of this gym is a 6.8. I think that's quite decent, and I think this gym definitely deserves, I think, this number. Even though I think it can definitely be like a lot better, and I think they also have it in them to be like the best gym of like this company, of like any of the gyms that they've made. I think this gym has definitely like the most potential of like any of the gyms that they made. But I think they just, really have to like learn to really like make use to all of the new halls that they have and the really big space that they have, because I think they can really like make something out of it and something really cool out of it. But yeah, that was my rating for today. Well, I think it's a really solid gym. I will definitely come to this gym quite more often. It's definitely really good gym to train in. And yeah, I think definitely like a really good gym to check out. But yeah, definitely know that this gym is a lot more focused on like the harder side of like bouldering. So you can't really expect to just easily do like a 10 in this gym. And I think definitely like a gym like this, where it just like said it's really hard, I think that's just really good to also have in the Netherlands. So yeah, big pops. So yeah, that's I think all I wanted to say for today. I will see you guys in the next rating video, which will be from Eindhoven, and then we'll see what we'll be rating after that. So yeah, later.